2. All right. So good morning, everybody. I am joined today with a good friend of mine, Katie Davis. And Katie Davis is with Keller Williams Gig Harbor. Is that right?
Yeah, KW West Sound.
West Sound, KW West Sound. And I just want to start out first because you're going to help me with something here on this short live stream that we're doing. And I want to start off first. Tell me about your business, what you're doing, and the areas that you serve. So if anybody's looking for a great agent in those areas, they can call you.
Right. My name's Katie Davis, and I serve mostly the West Puget Sound area in Washington State. That is typically from bridge to bridge. We go from Gig Harbor, a lot of Bremerton, Poulsbo, Port Orchard, Silverdale, and then all the way up to Kingston. So this side, if you're taking a ferry across from Seattle, that's my side of the water. Sometimes we go down into Mason County, into the lake area. But yeah, Gig Harbor up to Kingston.
And so most recently, we were just talking before I went live about some clients that you served that are part of the naval base. Is that right?
Right, that's correct.
So you can help out folks that are looking to relocate from all the different various military bases. They're coming out and they're going out. That's awesome. So thank you for that. Now, the main topic today is why somebody should take Bold. And I met you, was it 5 years ago?
It was 3 years ago.
3 years ago. 3 years ago. So this is the coolest story. I met you 3 years ago in Bellevue. We were hosting a Bold. And at the time, were you in real estate?
I had just gotten my license at that time, and I was currently interviewing different brokerages to see where I wanted to hang my license. But when I took Bold, when I showed up in that class, I had not yet chosen an office. I was brand new, as new as it gets.
And the interesting thing is I've been going around saying, this may not be the best thing for a new agent. And I am going to shut my mouth when it comes to that limiting belief. So what happened? What made you go from that first one to signing up? It's $800. What happened with you?
Right. Well, so it starts with, I went to a team meeting at a Akeda Bothell office, and Bold was about to happen. So they gave me the information. Of course, the first class is free. So I said, you know what? I might as well show up to this first class. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I want to go. So I did. And the interesting part, I don't think, and they sell you hard on that first class, they're trying to get you to sign up for the full thing for sure. And I don't think we have discussed this, but I was sitting next to you. And on that first day, they said, well, who's going to be Bold or whatever they do? And you raised your hand and you were doing the class. And I said, well, I want to be Bold. I want to be like Dan Edwards. And so I raised my hand, and that's how it started, is quite literally I was sitting next to you. And that was it. I was like, okay, I'm doing it. Now, I didn't know what the real estate was going to hold for me. I didn't know if I should be in this class or where it was going to take me. But honestly, it was one of the best things that I could have done.
Yeah. And I think we had some discussions throughout the day. I believe that you were like, I'm too much of a nomad. I go to Arizona, I go do this, I go do these things. It's like, there's no way I could be in sales and do this. Right. And I was sitting there thinking, well, how were you paying for your life at the time?
Oh, how was I paying for my life at the time? So I was a sales rep for a leather goods manufacturing company, and I had created my own company where a niche market, kind of, where I took the remnant leathers, and I had a jewelry, a bracelet making company, and I would travel all over the country in my little RV selling my wares. And I had just moved from Arizona. I didn't know where I wanted to settle, and that was the biggest fear I had around real estate, was needing to settle down in one place and drop roots and create community in one place.
All right. Now I want to come back to that. So let's talk about that in a bit, but why don't you tell me what happened your first year in real estate after Bold?
My first year in real estate after Bold, I ended up selling, and I'd have to get the numbers, but I think it was 14 properties. I chose halfway through Bold. I did the activities. And then halfway through Bold, our Bold coach connected me with a broker and a managing broker over here, an owner of Keller Williams West Sound. I was into women's empowerment groups and all these things. And so she was an owner and she had an all women's team. And so I chatted with her and I said, you know, this is a good area for me. I think this would be a great match. And I had a few ties here in the Kitsap Peninsula. So I just kind of settled down and chose that office. And once I got to work, I really found success, and we can talk more about Bold and the practices, but I found success through open houses. But I had no idea that it would go as well as it did, and it has continued to grow and go as well as it has.
So how have the last couple of years gone for you then? Based on your first year, 14 transactions, that's a great living. Where did it go from there?
Right. So last year I sold 39 homes. And this year, I actually just saw Dan recently at a career visioning class, because I have a transaction coordinator and I have hired an assistant. And so there are growing pains that come along with hiring an assistant, and being able to give things away and train them and teach them and hope that they can give the same quality of service that I give to each and every client of mine. But yeah, this year so far, so last year was 39 transactions, and so far this year we are at, I'd have to pull up my count, but I think we're in the 20s already.
In the 20s already. That's just such an amazing story. It is. Now, tell me, now your life as a nomad has completely gone away. You're not traveling anymore. You're not doing any of the fun stuff with your girlfriends or any of that stuff, right?
Wrong.
Wrong. Awesome. I love that. You're still living the kind of life that you want to, right?
Right. I do have to say it took me about 2 years to get to that point.
Mhm.
And really interesting timing, because there's this women's group that I go to that's 2 weeks. It's a full 2-week commitment in June. And in 2020, that was canceled. And honestly, I thought that was like a huge blessing in disguise, because there was no way I was going to be able to get away for 2 weeks. And then last summer, I was gone for 11 days. And that, in my second year, that was the longest I had left my business since being in the business. And so it's been a steady process. I just went to Mexico and I was gone for 13 days, and then just did a weekend trip. I actually just got back from a weekend trip, going on another weekend trip this next weekend, and then going into 2 weeks. So it took some time to build up, to have the support, to know who you can trust, team members, even agents in the office. You can always ask people to, open doors for you for $50 or something like that. So there's always support, but it's just finding them and being able to grow a business that allows you to continue to do the things that are most important, because that's what it's about.
It's awesome. It's so good. And Bold is, I want to say 6 or 8 weeks program. And it really is a lot of intense action. And I want to say, I'm going to make a guess, but would you agree with me that it wasn't so much the Bold activities as much as it was the mindset that really allowed you to shift from that personality of like, oh, I don't know if I want to put down my roots and do this, to what it could do for you. And that mind shift that you got from Bold is what was the catalyst for propelling you into your career.
Right.
I put words in your mouth, but I mean, it's just so awesome to see that. And I like tell so many people about your story and your success. So if somebody's sitting there considering Bold, what would you tell them?
Do it. If you've never done it before, I highly recommend Bold. If you don't know, Bold stands for Business Objective Life by Design. And I think that's a really important thing to keep in the back of your mind, is the whole reason for doing this is to build the life that you want to build. Just the tools that are given and the mindset exactly was really key and critical, I think, in helping me build the business that I built as quickly as I did.
Awesome. And I look forward to seeing what the next 3 years hold for you. Again, I just want to let everybody know, if you have a referral for somebody in the West Sound area, and that's as far south as
Mason County, so Gig Harbor, but then we go down into like Lake Limerick, Lake Mason Lake, down in that area, and then as far north as Kingston.
Awesome.
Sometimes we go across the bridge to Port Townsend too, so give us a call.
Okay. Very good. Well, thank you so much, Katie. I know you're busy, and I just appreciate you telling your story and your time. Such very appreciated, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. Likewise, Dan. It's been a pleasure being around.
All right. We'll see you next time.
Take care.
All right, I stopped the live stream and I'm going to stop the recording.